Welcome to Buzz&Babble. Stories from the internet!
This next one comes from ThrowRASIltester, my feral daughter. My 17-year-old daughter received a very unsolicited picture from a boy. Instead of just going, ew, to his shriveled up roll of dimes, she sent it to his mother. She even included a message telling her to get her son under control because she did not want this. Get this, the mother complained to the school. We were called to a meeting, and during this meeting, I found out he's 18. So, I told the mom to either drop the complaint or I'm taking this evidence to the cops. Good luck getting that sought-after childhood education degree with those kind of charges. The mother dropped it fast, and my feral daughter was rewarded with an iced coffee. So proud of her. There's an update. We went to the police. She even got a few other girls to join us. I can't wait for his mom to find out. I will make sure it gets into the local paper because I'm friends with the editor and the county sheriff. Hey, OP, good for you and your daughter. I like how you describe it as a shriveled up roll of dimes. I will never understand why people send unsolicited dick pics. That's just no. Just stop. Am I the bad guy for forcing my son to give me half of his income? I won the lottery, $1,000 a day for life. I'm 58. My son is 19. I went to him and told him that I wanted to make a deal. I would give him the ticket. In return, he would give me half of the money until I die. After that, he gets all the money. He told me he needed to think about it. Okay. What is there to think about? He came back and said it wasn't really fair for me to want half. He said that I could live another 40 years, that he might need the money more, and that I should take 20%. Dude, I'm sorry, but you've raised a son who's a bit of an idiot. I told him I would think about it. Ultimately, I decided to sign the ticket and claim the lump sum. I'm seeing a lawyer to set my son up for life. His education will be paid for. When he gets older, he will be able to purchase a home for free, basically. A trust fund will be set up, so he gets a good amount of money for the remainder of his life. He's now pissed that I went back on my offer. I thought I was being smart, but I didn't realize how greedy he was. He also told my ex about the money, and she is pissed that I'm not giving her anything. We have been divorced for years. I owe her nothing. Am I the bad guy? Man, people suck. The offer of 50% for life when you're only 19, like doing quick math, that's what, $182,500 per year until OP dies, and then $365,000 per year until you die. What is that? Doing like some quick estimates, that's $15 million over your lifetime. I cannot believe, OP, that your son came to you saying that it wasn't fair and then coming at it from the angle that you might live for another 40 years. Like, that's a burden. WTF, man. It's a shame that this is coming from your own family. Well, I mean, behavior like this is expected from your ex, but they can jog on. Yeah, I'm sorry your son is an idiot, OP. Am I the bad guy for laughing in my sister-in-law's face when she DNA tested my daughter? I have a daughter who's 6. I am not biologically related to her at all. There is no blood relation between us. I was friends with her mother for most of my childhood. We were never involved romantically, and were happy as just friends. She had her daughter at 23 with her 25-year-old husband. When my daughter was a newborn, both her mother and father were killed. I won't go into too much detail for privacy reasons, but it was a workplace shooting. My friend and her husband had worked in the same building and were both killed. My friend and her husband had grown up with less than ideal families and didn't have any siblings, so there wasn't any next of kin for their daughter to go to. However, I was close with them and I was able to adopt her. Even though I had been iffy about the idea of kids, I didn't want their daughter to grow up in foster care or around people who didn't have a connection to her bio parents. So I stepped in. My parents and siblings know that my daughter is not my actual bio daughter. My daughter, Lily, knows that she's adopted. I never tried to hide the fact that she was. She knows her parents are dead and were killed by a bad man. But I'm saving the details for when she's older. Lily does not look like me at all. She looks exactly like her bio mother and father. For the most part, people assume that I'm her bio dad, and she just took after her mom. I don't often bother to correct this assumption because it just seems out of the way and unnecessary. My brother has been with his fiancée for about 2 years now. A few weeks ago, we were all meeting up at my parents' house, and my soon-to-be sister-in-law saw an old picture of me, my friend, and her husband. She pointed to my friend and asked who she was, and I explained that it was Lily's mother. She got quiet and stood in front of the picture for a while. I didn't think much of it at the time. She knows my friend died, but I guess she didn't know that she had been married, or that Lily is not my bio daughter. I suppose she assumed my daughter was mine and my friend's biological daughter. Sometime later, my future sister-in-law got a DNA test done for my daughter behind my back. She used my brother's DNA for the test, and when it came back that they weren't related, she knew that meant me and Lily weren't related. The next time we met, she came up to me with the results, waving them in my face, saying that I was taking care of a dead woman's affair baby. She said this to me in front of my daughter. I just stared at her for a while before bursting out with laughter. I told her that I knew Lily was not my bio daughter and that this magical thing called adoption exists. Her face went red and she stormed off. My brother is mad that I embarrassed his fiancée, but I said she embarrassed herself by DNA testing a kid that isn't hers and then parading the results up to me. What did she want me to do? What was her goal? Did she want me to break down and abandon my daughter? My brother said she thought she was doing the right thing and called me a beephole. I don't feel like a beephole, especially considering my sister-in-law was the one who stuck her nose where it doesn't belong. Okay, doesn't your family know that Lily is not your bio daughter? You mentioned that earlier. Yeah, like your brother must not have known that this was his fiance's plan when she was DNA testing him as well. Or I wonder how she got his DNA. But I'm right with you when you question what her goal was. Why would you try and expose something like this in front of the entire family as well as in front of your daughter? Like that's some Jerry Springer type beep right there. Sister-in-law is turning Maury Povich into a hobby, man.
Buzz and Babble. Stories from the internet.